Cool. Well, I'm here with Zach Clayton from DPS, and we have a lot to go over today.
Yeah, we do.
There's a lot of new stuff happening at DPS for this coming season, which is very exciting. So I think we can just get right into it. Can you start off by introducing us to these skis we have behind us?
Yeah, absolutely. So like you said, we've got a lot to cover. We've got a few new collections, a couple revisions. I would say the biggest update is to the Pagoda Tour collection. Pagoda Tour has been out for a while now. The previous model was out for 3 seasons. And we felt it was time for an update. So we've changed the construction of this ski quite a bit. How that translates to on snow feel is obviously positive. But the biggest thing here, we still have very similar shapes. We do have a 105 shaping. That's new. The naming is still Pagoda Tour. We have added CFL on the back of that, which stands for carbon flax. So our previous core was very complex, to say the least, right? Like we had Polonia wood core, and then within that we had our third rail technology, which we basically injected sidewall material into that core to help with dampening. And then there are foam layers sort of sandwiched together there, or laid up within it. So we've gotten rid of a lot of that, and the goal was to simplify. The biggest thing we did is that we have started to use a material called flax. So flax is a natural material, natural fiber that's been used as a textile for thousands of years. And we've laid that up within and woven it in to the carbon fiber.
Okay.
Yeah. So you still got Polonia wood core, and then our sandwich construction, so to speak, and that's sandwich. You've got a layer of carbon flax on top, layer of carbon flax on the bottom. And what that does, and the whole goal for this, flax is a very sustainable material. It's going to help us reduce our carbon footprint. And even more so, we just really like how that material performs. Like I said, we were able to simplify the construction and still meet the goals and demands that we were looking for. Some of the biggest feedback that we got on the previous model was that in harder snow and choppy snow and crud, it could be a little harsh from time to time. So what the flax is designed to do, it's very lightweight, it's very strong, it's very durable, it has great dampening properties, all the things that you're looking for. But it just helps supple that ski up a little bit more and helps with that torsional rigidity, so to speak. So, at the top of the turn, you're smearing, you're coming into it, if you're pivoting in tight trees, wherever it may be, it's going to respond a lot better and you're going to have a lot better feel underfoot.
Gotcha. Are these skis still coming in at pretty similar weights, or are you seeing much of a change there?
They are coming in slightly under the previous model.
Oh, okay.
So they're actually a little bit lighter. We always say we love carbon fiber because of how it performs, and we love the feel. And sort of a byproduct of that is lightweight. Within our other models, we definitely use carbon fiber for the weight properties as well. But it was nice that we were able to get better performance and shave a little weight as well.
Gotcha. Yeah. And then just quickly, you mentioned the shapes stay pretty similar, but what are we working with in terms of waist widths and models?
Yep. Yeah, so we have 5 waist widths across the collection. We've got a 90, 94, 100. The 105 is a new shape for this year. And then the classic, the staple, 112, a little bit deeper snow. They don't all share the same rocker profile. We believe that if you're choosing a different waist width, it's for a particular purpose. Yeah. So you are going to see varying, shape differences and rocker profiles throughout the ski. And the 105 sort of being the go-to right now. We learned a lot from the Kaizen 105. Yeah. And it's a ski that not only we've taken to really well internally, but also externally. Out here and the feedback that we're getting, the 105 is the go-to. So again, slightly different shape from that one, but along that same motto.
Gotcha. And across the Pagoda Tour line, I assume similar construction, similar intention, and that, as the name suggests, these are touring skis, touring-oriented skis, but in waist widths that's cover kind of different use cases.
Exactly. Yeah.
Gotcha.
we intend them to be backcountry use, trying to maximize efficiency, your daily missions, whatever it may be. So we want to provide the best tool possible while you're out there on the hill.
Cool. So next, let's move into a collection that is new, but also bears the name of a ski that is one of DPS's most famous models. Can you tell me about the new Wailer skis?
Yep. Yeah, we do have a new Wailer ski coming out for this season. And, you're right, the Wailer was around for a number of years. It is by far the most famous best-selling ski that we have ever had across different waist widths and constructions as well. For this year, the focus last year was Kaizen, an evolution of Pagoda. We wanted to pay homage to the skiers that have helped shape the brand, and that being the Wailer. It's not a true Wailer. It does have classic Wailer shaping. That is remain the same. That's what people love about that ski. It floats extremely well in patter, 15-meter turn radius across all waist widths. We have 90, 100. The 107 is new for this year. I think most people probably expected a 112 to come out. And so we're really happy to go with a 107. We have the 112 in other models, like the Kaizen, in similar shaping. But we felt it was important. A lot of people, I think the 112 probably wasn't quite for them. They maybe wanted something a little bit less. And, we've listened to feedback. It's taken a few years, but we're happy to introduce the 107. But yeah, the Wailer ski is a little bit different than the traditional ski. So it does share the same name. It shares very similar that DPS, classic rocker profile, larger shovel at the top. But the core is a little bit different. So it is a poplar wood core. We have carbon stringers in there that give it a little bit of that traditional DPS feel. And it also has fiberglass in the ski. I think what's really important about this lineup was offering something different from Kaizen. Kaizen is a very complex core, 2 layers of carbon fiber. It is an extremely, it's a versatile ski, but it is a very powerful ski. A little bit more directional than what you might typically see from us. And we wanted to do something different to cater to a different skier. We didn't just want to call it a Wailer and come out with different shaping and have the same construction. So I think that's probably the most important thing to understand about this new collection. It is a truly an all-mountain frontside ski. It's a little bit heavier than a traditional DPS ski. It's very damp. But, it still provides great power.
Gotcha. So comparing, I imagine you'll end up getting a lot of questions about Wailer versus Kaizen, so I think we might as well go over that. So you touched on both the shaping aspects, including rocker profile. We can kind of expect an homage to the previous Wailer shapes, but it's also a different construction. So maybe touch on both elements of that and how the Wailer skis differ from the Kaizen skis.
Yeah, that's an important one because I do think there's some gray areas there. The Kaizen, they're both all mountain skis. That's kind of a tough term these days, right? Like every ski is an all mountain ski. How do you differentiate what's good for me, what's not? The Kaizen is truly your do-it-all free ride ski. And defining free ride is going anywhere and everywhere, right? Like that ski is still a lightweight frontside ski. A lot of people, if they're looking for something with a little bit more power, that's a little bit more versatile, it's going to be a great ski for you in multiple areas and conditions, right? Like you can throw an alpine binding on it on the Kaizen. You can throw an AT binding on it. I mean, you could put a pin binding on it if you really wanted to. Someone was looking for that. And that's one of the biggest things that differentiates the two. The Wailer is truly a frontside resort ski, so to speak.
Gotcha. Cool. So you already mentioned briefly the different models in the new Wailer collection, but maybe briefly run us through them and kind of how you're thinking about the end users and end use for each Wailer model.
Right. We went with a 90, 100, and a 107. 100, we've had that waist width for a number of years. We've also had 90 in the past, and we've brought it back. We're really happy with that ski. Traditionally, I don't think people think of DPS as offering narrower skis, and 90 isn't necessarily the narrowest ski out there, but for us, it kind of is. I think it's unique. People have been coming out, have been skiing that ski, and given the conditions, that's the one that they're gravitating towards. And although all three of them share the same construction and shaping profile, that waist width, it skis quite a bit different. Inherently it feels a little bit stiffer. It holds an edge great. If you're skiing back east, somewhere that's getting maybe a little bit less snow, it's going to be a great ski for every day. And then moving on to the 100. So the 100 is cool. It's sort of our go-to for all types of conditions. And I think what's really unique about that is the 100 shares, the Wailer 100 shares the exact same shaping profile as the Kaizen 100.
Okay.
Yeah, so they're both 15-meter radius. Rocker profiles are the same. And if you have the ability to ski those skis back to back, it kind of blows you away at how different they actually are. Sometimes it's hard to describe, like, oh, hey, maybe the Kaizen's better for you, the Wailer is. But when you ski those back to back, you're like, wow, okay. The Kaizen 100 is a little bit more precise. It has a little bit more power. Whereas the Wailer is going to be a little bit more forgiving. You're going to be able to snap off turns a little bit more. There's a bit more of that damp feel to it. So that's cool. That's really a true test because those skis outside of the construction, which is a big component of it, ski very different.
So as far as new models, new collections, we're going to wrap it up with the new Koala series, and then we'll touch on some more broad level stuff. But yeah, I guess just tell us what's happening with the Koalas for this season.
Yeah, so I would say the biggest update to the Koala is that we're onshoring the ski, or the collection of skis. So it is, that manufacturing is coming to Salt Lake City,
Gotcha.
where we produce every other ski. And we felt that's important to us. We speak about Built in USA all the time, and Koala was sort of the outlier there, right? And then it was a little bit hard to communicate. It didn't fit the rest of our messaging. Hopefully this is going to make it a little bit easier on ourselves, and then we'll also have a little bit more control on quality and things like that. So the ski, for the most part, is primarily unchanged. Some small tweaks here and there. I guess one of the big ones that you're probably noticing when you look at it is that it does have the traditional DPS binding plate. And it's these little things that we're just tying together, right? Like it's got all the same materials our Kaizen lineup has. The Wailer and Pagoda Tour, race bases, extremely hard edges, durable top sheets. Most of our materials being sourced domestically. We're proud of what we build in Salt Lake and here in the U.S. And this just ties everything together, one cohesive lineup across all collections. Yeah.
So with these new Koalas being made in the USA, but being made with pretty similar general materials and shapes and rocker profiles, could you tell us a bit more about the design intentions for these skis for people who weren't already familiar with the line?
Yeah, absolutely. The Koala lineup is definitely a bit of a departure from traditional DPS. It like you just said, it's got all the same characteristics, or I shouldn't say characteristics, just a lot of the same tech and materials that we've had in the past. But it caters to a different audience. It's a bit more progressive, less directional. It is a twin-tip ski across the 103, 111, and 118. They all share the same shaping profile, which is quite a bit different from the Wailer and Kaizen. They're all 18-meter radius. And it is, they're really fun ski to ski. I hesitate to say refreshing, but for us, it's very athlete driven. Dash Long, Pierce Solomon, Santi Guzman, they're guys who have been with us for a long time. They've helped shape the brand, and they've had their hands in this ski for a number of years now, and this is something that they're really looking for. A little bit further forward, Mount Point. Maybe you don't have to. There's skiers out there who don't want to sit as deep in the turn. You can smear. It's a little bit more playful. Wider width underfoot. So you can stick big landings. They spin great. They flip great. It is your sort of new age all mountain ski for that more progressive skier. And to take that a step forward, we don't just want to do what everybody else is doing, right? There's carbon fiber in this ski. It still feels like a DPS ski in a sense, which is very important. But it's really unique. We say it all the time. It's sort of the go-to ski for a lot of us at DPS these days, just to mix it up.
You touched on it already, but from a construction perspective, what would you say the closest other DPS collection is from like the core materials?
From the core material standpoint, the Wailer, the new carbon Wailer, for sure. They share almost an identical core. And just to your point, bringing that back together, like we still want it to feel a bit like a DPS ski, a new spin on that, so to speak. And Wailer versus Koala, they're completely different skis. Like I would say the difference between Kaizen and Wailer, you've got that same amount of difference between the Wailer and the Koala, although they share a similar core. But what was important to us was we're very proud of where that ski is right now across all waist widths, and that was important. We didn't want to sacrifice that bringing it to the U.S. So that was one thing that was a key goal, was that, hey, we've got a ski we're very happy with, our athletes are happy with, consumers are loving. Let's just not bring it over to the U.S. because it's what we want to do. We felt that it's right, but let's make sure that it still has the same characteristics and attributes that the previous ski had as well.
So we just touched on the new Koalas being made in DPS's factory in Utah, and I think that's a good segue into some more general updates on the company as a whole. Maybe tying in with that made in the USA aspect, can you tell me a bit about what DPS has been doing in terms of its environmental footprint?
Yep, yeah, absolutely. This is a very heavy year from an engineering and manufacturing standpoint. 3 new collections, so to speak, was no small feat. Yeah. Onshoring the Koalas has been a big process as well. I would say outside of just the skis and the collections and what we have going on as a brand, is tremendous. There might be even more going on that side that people necessarily don't see behind the scenes. Looking at it from a sustainability standpoint, we're always looking to take small steps forward. They may seem like it's not doing a lot, but getting back to Kaizen and why we named that ski Kaizen is back to lean manufacturing and continuous improvement in what we're doing in Salt Lake City. So a big step is flax, right? Moving to flax within the Pagoda Tour CFL lineup. Across the board, we're using entropy resin within our skis now, bio-based material. All of our ski packaging is biodegradable. We have these beautiful skis, beautiful colorways, and sometimes we complain they sit on the showroom floor and they're covered up by plastic and you can't really see them. But it's things like that are extremely important to us. Taking that a step further and sort of the evolution here is, there is a reason why we use the bases, the materials, the cores, the carbon fiber, the edges, the top sheets that we do in our skis. We preach durability, and it's something that we're very proud of as a brand. And with that, we're really excited. This fall, we did launch lifetime warranty on all of our skis. All of our skis made in the USA, which was another factor bringing the Koala to North America. Yeah. So the Koala will now get the same lifetime warranty that the rest of the collection has. And I think that speaks a lot to what we're doing, not only from a sustainability standpoint, but from durability, right? Like, we want you to know what you're investing in. We don't make the most affordable skis out there. And again, I've said it over and over again. Like, we're proud and confident in what we've built, and we want your skis to last you. They've got to last you 10 years. We want you to love them. We want you to be able to pass them on to your kid, whoever it may be, the next person, and they can love them as much as you do. So that's been a big one. Lifetime warranty has been good. It's one we're very confident in.
Yeah, I mean, and touching on that end of life cycle,
Yeah.
you all also launched something in that vein this year. Can you tell us a bit more about that?
Yeah. So this past November, we launched a program called Revive. So Revive has been an idea for about 10 years now, a really long time. And just this year, we're finally a few things came together, and we were able to make it come to life. So Revive is a program to give life to old DPS skis. Speaking to sustainability, to the durability, we want to keep those skis out of landfills, from collecting dust in your garage, your basement, your attic, sort of the lost and forgotten, right? Like how can we breathe new life into a ski that's got pre-pregnated carbon that we know is still good. It might have some cosmetic issues. We might need to fix some bases, some edges, things like that. But that's the goal of the Revive program. So Gear Trade is a good partner of ours, based out of Salt Lake City. We have partnered with them for a lot of the logistics, and they do a lot on the back end. So you essentially can trade in DPS ski. We will, we'll take a look at it, see the condition, evaluate it, and we'll give you a credit anywhere from $50 to $500 towards the purchase of a new ski. Well, backtracking, you can purchase a new ski or you can purchase a Revive ski. So Revive skis, they go through a 10-point check-in, as we call it. We evaluate that ski. We're not going to send anything out that is broken or you're going to have issues with down the road. So we actually do get a handful of skis that we know are never going to get resold. And we're working on finding recyclable programs so that, again, we're keeping them out of landfills. But yeah, it's a unique program. And since November, a lot of skis have come into us. We've refurbished them. They've gone out with a DPS factory tune, and customers have been very pleased with that ski. There's a sustainability standpoint of it. Bringing new life into a ski, and also, a lot of people love some of our older stuff. There truly is a ski for everybody out there. And it's also a good entry to the brand as well, at maybe a little bit more affordable price point. Yeah.
So last thing I want to touch on, we just went over the lifetime warranty aspect. If people were paying close attention to the images of some of these new skis, they might notice what kind of looks like a Wi-Fi symbol on some of them. Can you tell us what's going on there?
Yeah, there's not Wi-Fi in the skis.
Darn.
At least not yet, right? No, that's not an intention by any means.
Yeah.
So that symbol on there, it's essentially an NFC chip symbol. Working with a company called WaveOn, and we are embedding NFC chips into all of our skis moving forward. So you might say, like, what is that? Like, is it Wi-Fi, like, gimmicky? Does it really do anything for me as a customer? It does, and the sky is sort of the limit with this technology, right? So first and foremost, this helps us from a manufacturing standpoint. We're able to track the skis every step of the way throughout the build process, which is really helpful. And consumers don't care about that, obviously. It also helps our dealers quite a bit. So when you scan that, and we'll take a look at it in a little bit, I'll run you through it. When you scan each ski, it brings you to a product page. And that product page will have all specs, all information on that ski. It is AI assisted as well, so you can ask it any question. Be like, hey, I'm 6 foot, I ski at Killington, like, is this ski good for me? And it'll tell you if it thinks that's a good ski for you or not, or if you should be in a different waist width, or a different construction. Hey, what binding can I put on this ski? Hey, does this ski, I ski at snowboard 100 days out of the year, is this going to hold up to the abuse of rocks? And it'll tell you that. So it's a really cool tool. It's definitely It's fun for us to play with. The feedback we've gotten from consumers, it's fun as well. The ski essentially sells itself in a way. And, what's really nice is, some questions may get lost in translation, or, you may forget to ask something or communicate in a certain way. And you're able to fine tune that, and pinpoint that response in a truthful manner, which is cool. You can also register for a lifetime warranty through our skis. So you scan it, wave the top of your phone. It's compatible with just about every smartphone out there. Pops up, takes you to a registration page, and you're off and running.
Gotcha.
Good to go.
First question, you said NFC, right? You don't get an NFT of these
Correct.
skis?
You don't get an NFT. Yeah.
Okay. And any other things you want to clarify about the system?
Yeah, I think it's important to understand what it is and what it isn't. Like I said, there's a lot of opportunity with this technology. Right now it's an advanced version of a QR code in some ways. Maybe that's a better way to communicate it. But there are endless possibilities with it. For now, there's no GPS tracking. You can't track your stats. You can't locate your ski if it's lost or stolen, per se. On the back end, once you register it, you scan it, it will say, hey, this belongs to such and such.
Yeah.
If anybody's able to see that ski, or scan that ski. So like if you do lose it in powder and it doesn't get found until the spring, ski patrol or hiker or whoever it is can scan it and find the information for who that ski belongs to. So no GPS in there. Can't track your stats. Can't pinpoint location that way. You can't scan it with Reco, anything like that, at least not yet. So it's a tool for the back end.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, I feel like we covered a lot pretty efficiently and effectively.
Yeah.
Bravo to you. But any final closing thoughts?
Yeah, not to sound repetitive or redundant, we've got a lot going on. It's been a busy year. And we're excited about the changes to not only our products, but what we're doing from a sales and marketing standpoint. We want to provide more value to our customers. A better on-snow feel and experience. At the end of the day, it's all about having fun out there, right? We would argue that our skis are some of the easiest skis to ski out there, and that we've got a ski for everybody. For myself, coming from a ski racing background, it's been unique. If you asked me what my favorite DPS ski was, I would have a really hard time answering that, right? Like traditionally more of a directional skier, but I'll grab the Kaizen 105, the 100, go and tour on the Pagoda Tours. The Koala, I find myself trying to be a little bit more playful these days. Yeah. Easier said than done.
Yeah.
And then you hop on the Wailer. It's a damp ski that's fun, the Wasatch Wiggler, so to speak, right? Yeah. So, the collections, we've done some amazing things in the past, and that's continuing for 2024.
Sweet. Well, we are very much looking forward to getting out on the skis ourselves. I've talked to a bunch of attendees who have been doing so this week. So I look forward to doing that, and hopefully we can get back out where it's currently snowing and actually catch some laps.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Sweet.
Cool.